All right, this is Deanna Marie, and welcome back here to the Clue Seat. And today we're going to be talking about how you should not question his goodness. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so the verse of the day is going to be Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Okay, so make sure you guys open up the Bibles, get in the Word, and, let him talk to you what he wants to talk to you about, and, open up those lines of prayer and communication. Okay, so that being said, at this point, Adam and Eve, they're living like the perfect life, right? Everything was perfect in the Garden of Eden. Everything was going fine. And now enters the serpent, Satan. And the first thing he does is just question God's goodness. Question, did God really say that? That's what he says. And I hope that you understand that the enemy sometimes, he's not going to come into your life and like, he's going to ask you to question God's goodness, to question God's plans for you. Because if he can get you to question it, that's all he has to do. Because if you're questioning God, if you're questioning his goodness, why would you listen to him? Why would you trust him? Why would you use your faith to make God pay attention and enact things in your life? You won't, because you don't think that he has your best interest out. You'll doubt. You'll think that he's mean. You'll start questioning everything about him. And if he can get you to do that, then you're not going to listen. You're not going to trust. You're not going to be willing to have the faith of a mustard seed and make things happen, because you're going to be constantly looking over your shoulder and doubting the whole time. You're going to spend half of your time doing this over here, trusting and having faith, and then you're going to spend the other half thinking, oh, is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Is he really good? Is he really who he says he is? And that's all he has to get you to do, because it sets you in this mind of confusion. It sets you in this mind of doubt. And when you doubt and when you're confused, you can't make things happen like you can when you have that boldness and faith, right? Peter walking on water, right? He has all the faith in the world, and then he questions, right? He looks around and he's like, oh my gosh, is God really going to be able to save me? Is he really going to let me continue to walk on water? And the answer is yes. Yes, he will. So don't listen to the enemy when the enemy seeps in there and starts saying things in your mind like, oh, did God really say that? Oh, is God really good? The answer to that question is absolutely. You know who's not good? The one that got kicked out of heaven. He's not good. He's the one that's after your anointing and your blessings and your things. Do you know why? Because he wants to hurt God. He can't stand him. That's how all of this began, right? He did not want to worship God. He wanted to be worshipped, right? He wanted to be God. And he wants you to think that what God's offering you isn't as good as what the world's offering you. Okay? That was the whole thing with Adam and Eve. He just said, hey, do you think God's holding something back? He gave you all these trees, right? But what a mean God that he would tell you you can't have that one. He's mean. He's nasty. Why would he do that? Why would he make something like that and put it in front of you? That's what he says. Do you know what God says? Do you have the faith and the trust to understand when I tell you this isn't good for you, don't touch it? Are you going to listen to me? That's it. That's all. And all you have to do is listen to him, because he is good, because he is going to give you free will and let you choose. We're not all Barbie dolls. Okay? He made us to have minds and think for ourselves. Okay? So I want you to think when the enemy comes in and he creeps in and he tries to say, hey, is God good? Does he really mean you like good? And does he have your best interest at heart? All of those things. Yes, the answer is yes, but do you believe that? Whose report are you going to believe? Are you going to believe God's, or are you going to believe the enemy's? Are you going to listen to God, the one that created you and the one that loves you and the one that wants you to have all of the best things that are best for you here? Because not everything is best for you here. That tree that Adam and Eve ate from, that wasn't the best thing for them. They didn't trust God completely. They started getting too comfortable and thought, oh, well, why would this? And they just listened to the enemy's report, when in all honesty, all they had to do was just live in happiness and be grateful and be humble and enjoy what God gave them to enjoy and not look around at anything else. They were completely satisfied. It said they were naked and unashamed. They were satisfied. But in that satisfaction, sometimes you can get confused and think, oh, well, this person, I have $1 million, but this person over here, they have $2 million. So, maybe God doesn't love me as much. That's not true. You have what God gave you. You have the wife or the husband that he's going to give you. You have the job that he's going to give you. You have the health that he's going to give you. You have everything that you have that's for you. Stop comparing. That leads into sin. That leads into you questioning God's goodness. Okay? You can be satisfied with the life that God is giving you. You don't have to look around and look at all the other trees and be like, oh, is this better because this tree looks better over here? No. The best tree for you is what God's given you. So stop looking around and thinking that there's something better out there. Stop questioning. Stop listening to the enemy when he comes in and he says stuff like that, because it's wrong. It's not true. God always has your best interest at heart. He loves you. He made you. Why would he make you and then want bad things to happen to you? It doesn't even make any sense. Okay? Stop listening to the enemy, because you saw what the enemy did to God on the cross. That's what he wants to do. Okay? Plain as day. All right? So anyways, something to think about. So like, share, subscribe, and comment as always. And I will see you guys back here next time.